Orcas, or killer whales, have been doing something really weird over the past few years. They are attacking and even sometimes sinking boats. And the most recent incident happened about 3 weeks ago. This was off the coast of Spain, where 3 orcas hit a sailing yacht. They sunk it, and researchers don't really know why this is happening, but there's some speculation that this could be, and get this, a series of coordinated attacks. It sounds so bizarre when you hear it. But joining us now is Jeff Corwin, a biologist and host of Ocean Treks with Jeff Corwin. Jeff, so 15 of these incidents between orcas and boats off the Iberian coast in 2020. How uncommon is it for orcas to come across and interact with boats this way?
Gotti, I'd say this is some pretty extraordinary orca behavior. These are incredibly intelligent creatures. They learn, they adapt, they discover, and they change their behaviors. They also have all the emotions that human beings would have. They have joy, they have fear, they have malevolence. And in this case, Gotti, is what we're seeing is a very novel, learned behavior. But the question is, why are they attacking these ships, these sailing vessels? This is likely what we call a residential pod, a residential extended family group. And what is likely is one orca is teaching another orca, likely a mother teaching its calf, this behavior. Now, there's 2 theories to why this is happening. One theory is that it's out of being rambunctiousness, playful behavior. Of course, they're very powerful, and there can be devastating consequences to that playful behavior. But the other is that it's because of a traumatic event. There's one female orca in particular, and one theory is that maybe she was injured. She had this traumatic event, and now she takes a sailboat as a threat, and she's taught this defensive, then offensive behavior to other members of her pod.
Overnight in Guam, a massive typhoon pounding the island. Oh, wow. Winds up to 140 miles per hour, tossing a pickup truck around like a toy, taking out chunks of the side of this resort. What the? And ripping through a hotel lobby. Guest Luis Zamora didn't sleep at all last night.
As you can see, we have a lot of damage.
Guests hunkering down in flooded hallways, water seeping through the ceiling. Officials say it's even more dangerous out on the road.
Too many flying debris. Tree tops are coming down, palm fronds, coconuts.
Typhoon Mawar is equivalent to a Category 4 hurricane, the strongest to pass this close to the U.S. territory in more than 20 years. The Navy is sending in the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group to deal with the aftermath. Tonight, most of the island is without power, and officials say they're only just beginning to survey the damage.
An entire species of sea urchin in the Gulf of Aqaba has been wiped out by a deadly epidemic that's spreading through the Red Sea. The probable culprit is a disease-causing parasite that brings with it a fast death. In just 2 days, a long-spined back sea urchin becomes a skeleton with massive tissue loss, according to Bronstein. Some wash ashore dead. Others are eaten by fish, likely speeding up contagion. The first signs of trouble appeared in the Mediterranean Sea. Sea urchins have over the years invaded the area and made it their home. A few months ago, Bronstein said reports of sea urchin deaths started to emerge from Greece and Turkey. While that was less concerning at first since they were invasive species, the pathogen has now crossed back into the natural population in the Red Sea. It is now impossible to stop the epidemic, but Bronstein says there is a very narrow window to create an isolated population or broodstock of the sea urchins elsewhere. Researchers are hoping they can be reintroduced later on.
So we have the disease in the Mediterranean advancing from the north. We have the Red Sea population obliterated by this disease, which means if we are to establish a broodstock population, we must act today.
Sea urchins play an important role in maintaining balance in the ecosystem. They feed on algae that would otherwise block sunshine and smother the reefs.
It's mesmerizing to watch, but officials warn to do so at a considerable distance. Mexico's active volcano, Popocatépetl, known as El Popo, has been spewing lava and ash for more than a week. It's caused people in the surrounding area to mask up to protect their lungs. The government even closed dozens of nearby schools. Officials warned people to keep a 12-kilometer or 7.5-mile distance from the volcano. While people west of El Popo get to watch the show, wind has been blowing the smoke and ash to the east, but that direction could change at any moment. The country's civil guard increased its warning level because explosions are launching rocks into the air. It's unknown how long this will continue for, but one thing is certain: people will be watching.